Super Bowl weekend is finally here. We got the Chiefs versus the 49ers, a rematch of 4 years ago where the Chiefs prevail. I hope it's a good game. I'm hoping it'll be an entertaining and nail-biting game. With Mahomes back on the Super Bowl, should be a good game. I do have 5 props. Of these 5 props, 4 of them are with Daily Grind Fantasy. I waited till a day before the big game just for the fact that the lines have been going up and down the entire week. Just a reminder, the Mahomes free square of 0.5 passing yards. Make sure you guys take it. It is a $25 max entry. I'm most likely going to pair it tomorrow with an NBA prop, but I'm going to use a Goblin just for a quick double up to guarantee a double up on the money. As for the Super Bowl, I do have multiple slips, but the 5 that I have, these are the 5 strongest picks that I'm going with. So let's get started. First one I'll be going with is none other than Travis Kelce. And for him, I'm going to be taking his rush and receiving touchdowns at 0.5. I'll be taking the over. Somehow he's going to find the end zone for this big game. Next up I'm taking is obviously Mahomes. And for him, I'm going to be taking his rushing attempts. I know a lot of the community will be taking his passing yards or his fantasy. Personally, his fantasy is a little bit inflated for me at 19. I've been seeing it at 18, 18.5, 19.5. It's at 19 now. I'm going to be taking his rushing attempts at 4.5. Last Super Bowl, he had 9 against the 49ers 4 years ago. He usually gets about 8 to 10 rushing attempts on big games. So I expect him to run the ball a couple times. I think he's going to clear this 4.5 rushing attempts in the first half, to be honest. So I'll be taking that. My third leg will be Christian McCaffrey. And most of the public will be taking his rushing yards. He's been a beast the whole season. Obviously, he's a new weapon compared to 4 years ago where they didn't have him. I think he's going to have a big game, but he might have the jitters given it's his first Super Bowl. But I think he's going to have a better game than Brock Purdy, to be honest. So I'm going to be playing it safe here, and I'm going to be taking his rushing yards Goblin. It's just a $10 difference if you're betting 20. I'm going to be taking his rushing yards. I don't think he's going to get quite close to 90.5, but I can be wrong. He's been smashing 100-yard games nearly every game in the regular season. So at 90.5, I think it's a little bit too inflated. I've seen it from 86 to 92. It's at 90.5. I'm just going to play it safe and go with his rushing yards. His fantasy score is a little bit too inflated at 23.5, but obviously he has these high marks because he can do it. But I'm going to be taking his Goblin for his rushing yards, which brings me to my 4th leg, and I'll be taking Pacheco. And for him, I am going to be taking his rushing attempts at an even 16. I like this prop. Daily Grind Fantasy has a 54.1% hit rate to go over. So I'll be taking his rushing attempts over 16. He had a 24 against the Ravens. He had 24 against Miami. So he's been running the ball. He was close against Buffalo. So I'll be taking Pacheco over rushing attempts. And my last one is a wild card. And I'm going to be taking Kyle. And I'm going to be taking his rushing and receiving yards. He's a sneaky pick. I think he can get these 5 easy yards against KC. Obviously, the past couple of games. These were regular season games, so he hasn't been a weapon in the playoffs yet. I think he's going to get a pass or 2, and he should cover those yards of 4.5. So I'm going to be taking him as my sneaky pick to get in there. And that completes my 5-man. If you put a $10, should be a payout of 90. If you take out the McCaffrey, just put a regular prop, it should be 10 for 100. So it's not much of a difference. So I'm just playing the safe prop and just taking Christian McCaffrey's over rushing yards. But those are my top 5 picks. Travis Kelce over rushing receiving touchdowns. He'll get in the end zone. Patrick Mahomes over rushing attempts. Christian McCaffrey, Goblin, 69.5 over rushing yards. Pacheco over rushing attempts. And the sneaky pick, Kyle for rushing receiving yards over at 4.5. Daily Grind Fantasy has it at 53.1% hit rate to go over. Even if he gets 1 pass or 2, he should cover that line. He has both options, rushing and receiving. So mix and match, pick your favorite. The lines are being bumped throughout the day, throughout the night. Big game, Super Bowl. So mix and match, pick your favorite. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. And don't forget about the Mahomes Square. If you're trying to build a bankroll, I suggest you do it with a Goblin, NBA or NFL. It's a little bit more safer if you do an NBA prop, Goblin. But I'll be pairing this tomorrow, and I'll probably show it on my NBA video for tomorrow. So good luck. Have a great Super Bowl weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.